What's going on, everyone? So congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder for winning the first ever championship with that organization. I know that the Seattle Supersonics won a championship, but they're likely going to be one of the teams in the expansion, and then they'll get to keep their NBA championship. So this was huge for them. Historic team, historic season, right? SGA, joined some elite company, right? Got to tip your cap to them. Whether you're an OKC fan or not, credit where credit is due. Not one of those people that believe in like asterisks and all that other stuff. It's not OKC's responsibility, right? What happened to Tyrese Halliburton, and we're going to talk about that because that's very impactful here. But what happened to Tyrese Halliburton isn't OKC's fault. It's not up to them to manage that or anything like that, or like, hey, let's take an extra week off. It's unfortunate. It sucks. It's part of the game, right? But I don't believe in asterisks personally. I think that it's just, hey, they won. Tip your cap to them, right? Beat them next year, right? There's several teams that they had to go through that could have beaten them along the way, and they didn't, right? So credit them, credit where credit is due. Now, I will say that if Tyrese Halliburton doesn't get hurt, could this game have been very different? Absolutely. He was already establishing himself. He's 3 of 4 from three-point range, really kind of trying to set the tone for his team. If he doesn't go down, again, I'm not saying that they would have won. You never know. But I think it would have been a much better game. I think it would have been much closer, right? But look, Indiana had every opportunity to still put themselves in a position to win that game. You're not winning very many games when you have 22 turnovers and your opponent gets 14 more shots than you do because of all your turnovers and lack of rebounding and things like that, right? So again, as unfortunate as the injury was, this is something that OKC did their part. They flexed their defensive muscle and it paid off in the end. But I do think that the Tyrese Halliburton injury obviously, affected this game, but it greatly affects the NBA next season, particularly the Eastern Conference. The East was already wide open, right? Wide open. And now you're not going to have Boston and very likely Indiana. Now, look, I think Indiana still has the potential to be a good team. I don't think they're going to be NBA contenders like they were this last season without Tyrese Halliburton. That's just me, right? Sure, Indiana fans might feel otherwise, but I just think that they need Tyrese Halliburton if they have any chance of getting back to the conference finals. What this does, though, is, this might change how Philadelphia operates. Orlando, that Desmond Bane trade looks way better now, right? And they're still in position to maybe go make some other moves, maybe go make some other trades, right? If you're, the Knicks, you maybe make a couple more moves, right? Like there are several teams that are going to look at this and go, we are wide open, right? If you're Miami, you got to be kicking yourself because you didn't go get Kevin Durant, in my opinion, because now it's like, man, like obviously hindsight is 2020. And again, you never want that to happen. You never expect that to happen. Right? You can't plan for that to happen, but we got to be honest. That changes all of the Eastern Conference, right? And really kind of gives teams an opportunity that might not have had an opportunity prior. Because again, Indiana easily could have been back here next season had they had a healthy Tyrese Halliburton. Now they don't have a healthy Tyrese Halliburton. And it's even worse because he literally got hurt at the last possible moment. Right? Obviously, last possible moment would be fourth quarter, but you get it. Game day of the season. So he's almost guaranteed to miss the full season. Like, I don't think it's going to be one of those things where if this happened in the first round, it's like, okay, well, maybe he'll be back by the playoffs next year. So maybe as long as you can stay afloat, maybe you can go on that playoff run again, right? What you saw this past season. I don't think you're going to be able to do that. I don't think you're going to get that. And so it puts Indiana in a terrible spot. They're going to have some decision making to make. Like, do you pay Miles Turner at this point? If you're Indiana, do you tear it down this season and kind of recoup and just tank this year and try to get some draft picks and kind of keep your core guys maybe, or maybe unload some guys? Do you maybe try to sign and trade Miles Turner where you were going to keep him otherwise? Like, what do you do if you're Indiana? Because you're still probably going to be good, right? But I don't think you're going to be contender good. Right? You still probably make the playoffs, right? Because the East is really bad. If this was the Western Conference, maybe not, but the East, still probably a playoff team. At worst, you're probably a play-in team. But I don't know if I'm an Eastern Conference team, I'm looking to kind of gear up, right? Like if I'm an Eastern Conference team, I'm looking like, dude, like outside of the Cavs and the Knicks, everyone else needs to prove themselves, right? Everyone else, like I could be right there. I could be right in the mix of it. Boston's going to be out for a season, and Indiana's going to be out for a season, right? And then I mean, even Western Conference teams. If you're a Western Conference team, you could look at it and be like, man, if we make the NBA Finals, there is a very good chance we win it, right? Because there's just not as much competition in the East. So it's like, man, do you look at these teams like Houston and stuff and like that just got Kevin Durant, and do they go, you know what? Hey, let's kind of gear up here, right? Let's keep pushing, right? Let's keep making some moves. So it's going to be really interesting, right? Obviously, again, you hate to see what could have been an all-time great Game 7. This was an excellent series, but what could have been an all-time great Game 7, unfortunately doesn't work out the way that you had hoped, right? Because Tyrese Halliburton ends up going down. But this just has such a ripple effect, in my opinion. And we're going to see how this all plays out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think that this really does have a ripple effect? Do you think, like, nah, it'll be fine? Either way, how do you feel either way? Let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. If you enjoy these types of videos, truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.